Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
The following is an All-Star 15 TV production.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to All-Star 15 TV. On the broadcast tonight, it is the Sim500 TranService Truck Series. We're here at Las Vegas for round 3 of the season. In the broadcast booth with me, my one and only good buddy, Gary Wells.
One and only? You got two in here, but that's okay. I'll take it.
Well, you're the only Gary Wells.
Oh, that's also fair. Actually, that's not entirely true either.
Yeah, I know. What are you, the third?
Second. Anyways, here on the
Meanwhile,
broadcast tonight with the AJ. Love Vegas. One of my favorite mile and a halves. Probably my best mile and a half on the service, especially here in these trucks. So I think we're in for a good show tonight. Seems like there's been pack racing early on the run so far, as these guys are practicing it out. So it should be interesting here tonight.
And let's bring in the third wheel, I'd call him, up here. I'm just joking. It's somebody who ran a very awesome race last night, Mr. Mike Campeggio.
Oh, third wheel. That's not the first time I've ever heard that in my life. But what's going on, Gary? AJ, how you guys doing tonight? I'm super excited to be here in Las Vegas. Was just out here a couple weeks ago myself, so excited to see what these guys in the Truck Series have in store for us. I think what we're going to see tonight is a lot of pack racing, especially with the draft, so I'm very interested to see what's going to happen.
So with that being said, I'm going to send it over to Gary, because since the last time the Sim500 League has been on the channel, we had an absolutely major and a banger of an update. Gary, what are some of our viewers and the drivers on the racetrack going to be dealing with here tonight?
Well, to my knowledge, there has been a new damage model. Now, this damage model's been around for a little while. We have it with the ARCA car and the Gen 4 Cup car. Basically, before here on iRacing, if you got into an accident with your truck, or you hit the wall, or you had bent out fenders, it would repair, but it wouldn't repair all the way, and you'd still have a parachute for the rest of your race. Where now, as we're seeing a wreck here at the end of practice, where now you get any damage on your truck, you have a fighting chance to get that truck repaired and still be at mostly full strength for the rest of your race.
Did they change any sort of tire wear, any sort of tire model that could really affect the runs we have tonight?
Not in particular, I've noticed from driving last night, and even with these trucks here. I think you're still going to see tire saving be a big key here, even though we are in a pack here at Vegas. The more you save your tire, the more it's going to reward you to the middle portion to the end of the run. So anxious to see what these guys do and how they're willing to go all out and stay wide open here at the beginning of this race.
All right, as we have a lot of trucks jumping to the racetrack now. Well, qualifying should be interesting. Gary, I know you and I were talking early on that everybody should basically be running it like a plate race, correct?
Yeah, and with these trucks, with how low horsepower they have, you're going to see them this first lap coming out of the pits, and even your first timed lap, you're going to see what this truck's doing here. Run the high line all the way around, get up to speed as much as they can, and then you'll see a little bit more of a conventional approach in that second lap for the mile and a halves here. So as we're seeing, I believe that's the 01 right there. As he's going into turn number 1, he's going to hug that white line all the way through, and then just run a conventional mile and a half line basically for that second lap. And that second lap is going to be your money lap.
Yeah, as Wesley Donaldson goes P1, followed by Nelson Rivera. And then you got Randall Watkins right behind him for third. Wish we were able to see everybody in conjunction of each other on the racetrack, but unfortunately it's, pick and choose who we want to basically take a look at. As the 01 goes P1 for the time being, let's see if it holds. Randall Watkins should be our first driver to put the second lap time down. And he is going to go 8th as, boy, everybody's coming in now. Tyler Dalton, P1. Trey Edison, Eitzen, Shannon Wood.
Randall Watkins, P1 here with a 31.17. Joey Gattina with a 31.15. Now it's Steve Ritter with a 31.101.
You might be faster than I am because I don't have that. I still have Tyler Dalton.
I'm getting live updates from iRacing. But we even saw this in practice a little bit as well, AJ. The first 8 to 10 trucks were separated by not even a tenth of a second. I mean, from first to like 10th here, where Nelson Rivera is at, or second now. I mean, it's barely a tenth. Like it's crazy how close these trucks are, and then all the way through the field. Really, I mean, pretty much a second to. Well, as we see, Lane Phillips run a 33-second lap time there. Pretty much a second to 2 seconds.
Yeah,
between first and last so far. So
last week's winner, Bentley Glazer, P4 currently with a 31.06. Trying to back last week's race up, and he's going to take a little time to practice pit entry. It's also a very smart move.
Not going to be interested to see if we have pack pit entry here tonight and how that's going to affect everybody.
That would be sketchy. You and 30 of your buddies coming down pit road at the exact same time.
At a mile and a half of all things. I mean, it's definitely possible here.
Kyle Merkel will go 22. Let's jump to Justin Fuller as he's putting on his second flyer lap. This should be a banger.
Yeah, what we're really going to see here tonight is the draft play a big key, and it does affect their fuel mileage here, AJ. About 45 to 50-ish laps with the draft we've seen. Without the draft, anywhere from 45 to 47. So,
P7.
Going to be interesting as we see Fuller lay down P6, you said? P7 now.
7.
So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see once we get racing here, with the draft and without the draft, and how far you can go on a tank of fuel. Because if you're leading the pack, you're going to get worse fuel mileage because you're the one poking the hole in the air for everybody else.
Well, Gary, I know you mentioned it earlier, and I know Mike also did before we went live tonight. Why don't we run through our picks and the people to watch for the evening? Let's start with you, Mike Campiggio.
Well, guys, I think the one to watch for myself tonight is I'm going to go with EJ O'Rourke. He's the driver that I'm going to be watching tonight.
All right, AJ.
Ooh, and I'm going to take it to the driver of Nelson Rivera.
Driver of that number 22 machine, very nice. I'm picking the modified driver, Donnie Leah. That's my pick.
Yeah, you literally
and
called him.
And he's going to be coming from the back. He's going to be starting this race in 19th position as these guys are getting ready for their 1-minute warm-up here.
So
he'll have a little ground to make up.
Just a little bit. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. It's only a minute. Can't really do much. Maybe you're going to get one lap, if that.
Well, and we have seen AJ in the past. I mean, Donnie Leah starting 19th. The winner back in 2018, Anthony Calatoni, I'm guessing there, started 23rd in this race and was able to win it. So definitely a lot of guys out here. You can pretty much win from wherever in the field, but the further up you are around that top 10, really the better shot you have. And we figured out as well, clean air is pretty much king here. If you can get out front and stay there, you got a really good shot at this thing.
Well, that seems to be the thing for a lot of mile and a halves and these trucks, that once you get out front, you're able to hold out front. And let's take it to the starting lineup. Gary, take the first 10. Mike, take the second 10. And then we are going to go green here tonight. Take it away, guys.
All right. Well, we got Tyler Dalton here in the number 19 machine starting P1, P2. Got to be Keith Hackney there in that 9 machine. Third place, we got Tommy Ryan. Fourth place, we've got Kevin Brown. Fifth place, we've got Bentley Glazer. Sixth place is EJ O'Rourke. Seventh place is Justin Fuller. Eighth is going to be Trey Eidson. Ninth is going to be Chad Coleman, and Shannon Wood in that 02 is going to round out your top 10.
All right, then we're going to have in 11th place Hamish Gallagher. In 12th place, we're going to have John Schwackart. In 13th, we're going to have Robert Ferry III. In 14th, we're going to have Mike Kelly. In 15th, we're going to have Wesley Donaldson. In 16th, we're going to have Brian V. Macklin. In 17th, we're going to have Steve Ritter. In 18th, we're going to have Richard Beasley. In 19th, we're going to have Donnie Leah. And rounding out the top 20, we have Mike Montesini.
All right, everybody at
Montesini.
home.
What was that? You added an extra N in there somewhere.
I did, actually. Sorry about that.
All good. It happens. You're going to see the rest of the lineup there on your screen. Sorry, AJ, for cutting in there.
No, you
41 trucks here
good.
gridded up tonight, AJ. It's going to be a wild race.
Yeah, this is 100% going to be a wild race. We have the one to go, so the next time by, we will start this 110 laps around Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But we're 3 races in. Let's talk about some of the points. You have Chad Coleman at 86 points, Bentley Glazer with a win at 80, Glenn Campbell with a win at 76. Fourth, it's Kyle Merkel, and Shannon Wood is also tied for fourth. And then down to 6th is Joe Hudson. 18 drivers make the playoffs here, and it doesn't seem to be a win and you're in. How important is it to every week show up and do well?
I mean, it's definitely very important here. I mean, there's a lot of ties here. You notice the tie for 4th. There's a tie for 9th, 11th, 13th, 17th, 19th. Points are going to become a premium. They do have a playoffs, it looks like. So, going to be important that you're in that 18th spot by the time you get out of here at the end of the regular season.
All right. Well, pace car is off, and we are green here at Las Vegas Sim500 TranService Truck Series.
Yeah, we're pretty much seeing everybody stay too wide here as we head into 1. Looks like Tyler is going to have a little bit of an advantage there. Tommy Ryan went down to the bottom here almost immediately. So a lot of guys trying to get single file as they can, but still 2, 3 wide behind us here.
Tyler Dalton's going to get a nice shove from Tommy Ryan entering turn 3. Going to be able to hold it off as it looks like Bentley Glazer's looking to the inside of Ryan.
Yeah, he's right there. He the 99 had a little bit of a slip up in 3 and 4, and the 18 decided to take advantage of it. We're going to see Tyler work both those lanes. I think you're going to see him work the high line on the straightaways and the low lane in the corners as best he can these first few laps. So depending on what Fuller can do with this 18 in front of him here, he might be able to give him a good shove to get to the inside, but not quite that time.
Yeah, we're coming to... Oh, go ahead, Mike.
No, sorry, AJ, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just going to say, these first couple laps, it looks like these guys are running like a 180-mile-an-hour pace lap, both double wide all the way back through the entire field.
And Tyler's the pace car. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much what we're going to see here these first 8 to 10 laps or so, I would imagine, as we see him trying to work both lanes, still working the draft like he would at Daytona or Talladega. That 99 gets a good run here at the exit of 4. AJ.
I was going to say the exact same thing there, Gary. I know we're at 1.5 miles, but boy does it look like New Atlanta and also Dega and Daytona. And that's got to put a lot of stress already on the drivers, even more now, because you're not just at those high speeds. You have to worry about where the run's coming from. If you have a live spotter, I feel like that's always beneficial. But right now we got a pass for lead. Tommy Ryan to the inside of Tyler Dalton.
And that pass he really set up at the exit of 2 there, just able to get a good run on the high lane. And I think that's where we're going to see a lot of our passes develop from, is that through turns 1 and 2, those guys that take the high lane, they're able to take that run all the way down that back straightaway and even do a little bit of a slingshot as we saw him do on the 19 there.
Well, Keith Hackney is looking for that first position, doesn't have the help behind him, going to have to do it all on his own. Justin Fuller not that close behind him.
Yeah, this is where you might try and work a little bit of a side draft if we're later in the race. Definitely not this early, but I think the 9's going to do it. I think he led that lap by 7/1000ths of a second.
Well, there's a point right there for the 9. A point that I was trying to grab last night, but couldn't.
Well, in our league, it was 5 points, you know. Here, it's just 1. Yeah. Good old Keith was able to somehow work that all by himself and get those get that bonus point right there just by working the bottom really well. We're going to see that bottom line fade a little bit, I think, especially in turns 1 and 2 as the run goes on. because there's a lot of bumps in that bottom lane, and it's just going to cause these guys to want to migrate towards the middle lane of the racetrack. So going to be interested to see how this develops.
Yeah, as we're going to drop a little bit further back. Last week's winner to the 18 of Brentley Glazer, minus 4 positions in 9th on the outside. Gonna want to be out there later on. Maybe not so right now.
Yeah, that bottom lane 3 and 4 is really going to be the preferred lane most of this race. He's definitely losing some ground right now, but he'll be able to get it back. It's you can work your way up through the pack here at Vegas pretty easily.
Well, I think 1 and 2 is really, just look at that. He's able to hold his own in 1 and 2, but the minute he gets down to 3 and 4 and has somebody underneath him, that's where he loses the positions. You know, he's got Shannon Wood right underneath him. And let's see if he's going to be able to cut down right behind the 0-2. No, it looks like he's going to try to stay to that outside, and here comes the Toyota Camry
Filling that gap, yeah.
of Brian Macklin.
Yeah, not a whole lot of takers on that outside lane. We're still pretty new with these tires, so everybody's going to run the bottom as long as they can. But to save some tire, I would imagine some of these guys, especially back here, back edge of the top 10 into the top 15, they're probably lifting a little bit just to save a little bit of tire.
It's always a smart move, but going to take a look back up towards the front. We have a hell of a battle still going on for first. Tommy Ryan going to lead that lap, but man, is Hackney throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the 99.
Yeah, he only led that lap by 4/1000ths of a second that last time by, so pretty tight coming to the line. You got Justin Fuller kind of playing peekaboo a little bit with both lanes, mostly staying in that middle lane though as he's going to the bottom here.
Yeah, we're going to jump on board with Justin Fuller sitting in 3rd. Now let's see if we could see those bumps you were talking about. I know he's going to be on the higher side, but you could just see how the 99's bouncing, and it sends him right up the racetrack.
Some of it is natural, some of it is those bumps down there on the bottom of the racetrack are just kind of jolting you up the racetrack, getting out of the corner. There's a tunnel down there in 1 and 2 in real life, a vehicle tunnel / pedestrian tunnel over there, and that's what's causing all those bumps over the course of time.
Man, we're already 12 laps in, and there has been a lot of action on the racetrack, and not just up towards the front where we've been seeing. We're going to send it back down to Hamish Gallagher in the 21st position. You see the 13, as he's going to have the 40 of Charles Woods look to his inside. You know, these guys have really been trying to make up ground, but they seem to be losing about 3 or 4 tenths a lap.
Yeah, and the more you run side by side here, the more time you're going to lose to the leader. I mean, they're still within 3 seconds. It's not a lot at a place like Daytona and Talladega, but here it is just simply because the track's shorter and a lot narrower in those 2 places. So, as we're seeing, Donnie Lee, he's already lost 1 spot. He started 19th, currently running that 20th spot, right in that area with you there. It's going to be tough gun-ho here with this first runner. So. With these guys as far as passing goes. As you get in that dirty air, the harder the passes are.
Yeah, I think everything right now is just feeling it out, seeing what the car does over an actual full run. You mentioned that we can go about 40 to 45, 50 most laps on a run, but I would assume the tires are already gone off these trucks.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at for comparison. I mean, looking at Nelson Rivera, his best lap was lap 3 with a 31:15. They're already down into the 32:12s, so they've already lost about a second of pace, at least here in the mid pack, toward the back of the pack.
And as you mentioned, Nelson Rivera, he was my pick, already up 5 positions, starting to make headway towards the front. I see a lot of being patient in what he's doing right now. If he's got the run, he's going to try it, but if not, he's just going to hold his own and try not to lose positions.
We did have a lead change there. Tommy Ryan is now the leader. Keith Hackney has fallen back to 3rd. Looking at just a comparison, as we see Justin Fuller try the high side here.
Ooh, he got loose when he pulled out there.
Side by side, yeah, he got a little bit of that arrow loose. Oh, the 99's pushing up the racetrack.
And they're side by side down the backstretch.
Yeah, as I was getting ready to say here, just for comparison's sake, Tommy Ryan's fastest lap was lap 4 with a 30.96. His last lap by was a 32.18. So
Look at that
they've
side
already
draft.
they've already lost a second, and you're going to see that side draft play into effect, AJ, as you just saw right there with Fuller able to pull that 99 back a little bit and edge out in front.
Yeah, and he's going to lead that lap. They were side to side in 3 and 4, and I think, you know, pinching the 99 of Ryan down a little bit, still clean, no touching, but it helped because the 51 was able to get on the gas and get out of the turn better than the 99.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. I mean, anytime that you're on the high side, you do have a little bit of an advantage. It just depends if that bottom guy wants to try to pinch you up into the fence coming out of these corners. I mean, we see that with this next-gen car as well here. If you could pinch a guy and try to get a spot, you're going to do it. Sometimes if it depends on who you're racing with on the outside, they might just do a right rear.
Well, I wanted to bring it back to 20th position, Peyton Hubbard. You know, keeping that nice car clean. Just had a quick battle with Donnie Leah. Had a moment. I don't know if we caught it in 1 and 2 that last lap, but yeah, he's gonna keep the car clean as the 77 of Robert Fury is off the track and slow as he's gonna merge into that lower lane.
Yeah, he was in 15th there at the line. Not sure if he got loose or what, but maybe he had a little bit of some contact there with the 91. No contact. It's just one of those things. He was trying to decide whether he wanted to go to the apron or stay on the racetrack. And Mike, you know this. In that trioval area, you either got to be on the apron or on the racetrack. Otherwise, it's going to spin you. There's no in between.
Yes, of course. The transition here is so rough, and if you're not fully on the bottom or fully on the racetrack, it's easy to get loose and possibly spin out too. That's a very good point.
So it looks like our top two have kind of pretty much checked out here, AJ.
Just a little
away
bit.
from third by about half a second. So well, now is where we're really starting to see lap 20 here, lap 21. We're really going to start to see tires play an effect here.
Yeah, we're taking a look at the 41 of EJ O'Rourke. And, ooh, wow. Trey Eitzen right behind them, really loose in 1 and 2 there.
Yeah, able to keep that truck straight and going. And that's the thing with these trucks as well. They got a lot of downforce, so they got a pretty big spoiler on the back of these trucks. So even if they do get a little bit loose, as we saw there, they still have the opportunity to save it.
Yeah, let's see, for the most part, everybody's running almost the exact same lane unless they have a run to make a pass. Now, I gotta assume that that's gonna send you very aero tight, and you know, if you don't know what aero tight is, you're getting into the turn behind somebody, you're gonna go to wall. You go to outside
you'll get
wall.
the front tires aren't wanting to turn. It's just going to push you up toward that outside wall, like you were mentioning. And some of it too, AJ, is even if they do have a run, sometimes they don't even try to make the pass because you don't know if that guy behind you is either just going to fill that gap that you leave, or if they're going to go with you. Early in the run, we'll see on like starts or restarts here, we'll see them get a little bit aggressive with it, but that's not something we'll typically see here. Pretty much everybody's just going to ride in a line for sure. But definitely seeing some different lines here between the 9 and the 19. The 9 taking the higher lane and still being able to make it work in 3 and 4, while the 19's towing the bottom.
You know, Gary, I've been starting to see a few of these guys starting to run that third lane here in the back of the pack.
Yeah, you'll see them run that third lane in 1 and 2 in particular. It seems to get favorable the later we go. Not so much in 3 and 4. We will see some guys that occasionally try it, but really it's limited to the bottom and the middle in turns 3 and 4. As this track continues to rubbers up, it'll continue to be that way.
Yeah, the 9 of Hackney has really fallen back, and now Tommy Ryan's also falling back from the leader.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where maybe they kind of burn their stuff up just trying to battle each other because they were there for a little while. Well, Justin was just riding there in third, saving his stuff while those guys were battling hard, and now we're starting to see the results of that.
You know, guys, I was thinking about running this race tonight, especially with the draft. I feel like these drivers are going to be more mentally exhausted at the end of this race versus physically, because I feel like Daytona and Talladega with the draft, it's more mentally exhausting than physical exhaustion. What do you think, Gary and AJ?
Yeah, I think you'll really see that here tonight. I think it might be a little bit of a combination, but I will definitely lean towards the mental side of exhausting for sure. I think you might see a little bit of frustration break out later on in a race, just simply because it gets harder and harder to pass as we go. Shout out, though, to Brian Daly there in the 06 from 27th to 17th already, and I think that's our highest gainer, I believe, 10 spots.
Yes, Daly 100% is, and he is still challenging now. He's moved right to that outside in 3 and 4, which I know, Gary, you were talking about. You want to stay towards that bottom, but hey, if you can find grip and find speed up there, go for it, as we see a lot of trucks.
Oh, we got the 25 loose and coming back up at the racetrack here. Crisis averted, the 17, the 5. Everybody having some heads-up driving right there.
Watch this, everybody.
25 flipped the apron and got major.
Yeehaw!
That's a perfect example of the transition that we talked about.
You know, great save and great job by everybody else, but man, did I see a LePage happen.
Yeah, an almost LePage sighting there. Update on the 01 here of John Schweiker. I don't know. I'm just going to butcher it until it's pronounced correctly. Anyways, started P12. He's in 41st, 4 laps down. Not sure if he had a hardware malfunction, but all 41 trucks are still running with 40 still on the lead lap.
That's great to see. But up front,
now, obviously, as we get further into the run and pit stops, this field will continue to get a little bit more spread out, and we'll see more mini packs. So you won't see the big draft, but you'll definitely see 4 or 5 trucks together in a draft. I think that's more or less of what you'll see as we get further on into this
and
race.
I think basically we've seen that already. We've seen.
Yeah, we're getting a good sample size of it, but it's going to be all over the track, not just spread over about half the track. Like we're seeing here.
Like the only one on an island right now is Justin Fuller, has a second, almost a second and a half lead over Tommy Ryan in second. Third right now is Keith Hackney. EJ O'Rourke in fourth. Fifth, it's Kevin DeBrown. Sixth, Trey Eitzen. Chad Coleman in seventh. Tyler Dalton in eighth. And Bentley Glazer in ninth. Brian Macklin in 10th. That's your top 10 so far.
Yeah, and Hackney here might be out of the top 10 by the time you end this little update here, because he's been falling back here these last lap or two, all the way back to 6th now. But
DeBrown and O'Rourke.
93's involved.
Oh, don't come back down. Hold the brake. Oh, good
He is
job,
holding the brake
everybody.
there, Mike. Sometimes, even when you hold the brake,
We got trouble more.
that truck will naturally drift down a
Joey
little bit.
Gattina gets spun around there.
Yep, Joey Gattina involved. A little bit of Arga brake there. Let's see what happened there with that 93.
Yeah, we're going.
Oh, the 41.
Ooh,
Oh,
a
that's
little
The
neck
41
code
might have
there.
got loose trying to get up on the 99. And probably some net code. You see
And
the 41 get a little bit sideways, try to get off the wall. Yeah, there's about 1.5 feet, 2 foot of net code right there.
And then with Gattina, he starts slowing up, moves up the racetrack a little bit because of the car directly in front of him is slow.
Yeah, and the 27 is just right there, unfortunately. And just nowhere for that 27, the 14, one of those things that just kind of happens. With Kevin coming down the racetrack like that, unfortunately, it caused a little bit of a bottleneck there as we see the 93 does have smoke coming out of that truck now.
Yeah, that's not good. He might be on pit
more
road
engine
for.
piece of crap. I mean, what?
He might be on pit road for a while.
Yeah, he's gonna be on pit road for a little while.
Looks like it's feeding time on pit road. Boys, everybody's in.
Thanks, Justin, for liking the stream. I know that guy. That's cool.
We've actually talked to
like
Justin
you were
a couple
saying there,
times.
Mike, definitely feeding time. You're more than halfway through this run. Probably going to be 4 in fuel here. I can't imagine anybody taking 2. If they do,
How
more
about
power to them.
how about a driver staying out to 74 of Brian Wertman?
That doesn't surprise me. I think he's trying to pick up a point here for leading a lap. Maybe even trying to pull some kind of strategy. Not sure, but you never know with Brian. He's always got something up his sleeve.
Makes me think we should call him the magician if we have something up his sleeve.
I think he's just trying to get the point here, but could be wrong.
All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in to All-Star 15 TV, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. Thanks to the series sponsor, TranService Logistics, and then all the channel sponsors, the Drinking Bros Auto Racing Facebook page, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, the Wrestling Over Everything Facebook page, and Falcon Grafix. Save $5 on an iRacing vehicle wrap when you mention All-Star 15 TV to Mick Olofsson of Falcon Grafix.
Well, 74 just want a little TV time. That's one way to get it.
That's usually what you got to do. And look at this. Cody Gagliano is coming back down pit road. I think these drivers are just coming in, topping off, and...
That's exactly what they're doing, AJ. Just coming in, topping off on the fuels a little bit. And
oh, he's actually taking tires.
toward the back a little bit.
They're taking tires.
Oh, well, some of them might be accidentally taking tires. Maybe they had them unchecked or whatever. So there you go.
I don't want to talk about it. I've done that
That
more than a couple
there,
times.
Brian Wertman there, he's actually running a throwback to Morgan Shepherd. If that scheme looked familiar to anybody, that is a Morgan Shepherd throwback. I want to say, probably get corrected in the chat here. I want to say 2014 or 15-ish when he had the, he went through a phase of having a black top on that car, but a purple or red wrap on the rest of the car. So kind of a unique looking paint scheme there for Brian tonight. Throwing it back to one of his old teams he used to work for. We used to work for Morgan and Mike Harmon. That's why he runs 74.
All right, Mr. NASCAR historian.
Hey, you know, this is what happens when you know people.
Connections, all about connections.
That's exactly right.
So, first caution comes out at about lap 32. Now, knocking on wood, not trying to jinx anything. We've had 5 races recorded here, and it looks like on average we have a 2.4 caution rate. You know, 2.5 cautions per race. So for the most part, these guys keep it green, which means at some point we should see green flag pit stops. Granted, that wouldn't be till around 85 or 90 now, but would definitely be interesting to see what people are going to do, because that's only a 15 to 20 lap run to the finish. Do they take 2? But granted, all that can go out the window or in the garbage or down the shredder if we get 1 or 2 more.
That's exactly right. I think here, we have seen green flag racing here before. I think we'll continue to see it. But this is a 1 green flag stop race to the end. Now, like you were saying, if a caution comes out, might change some things. So we'll just kind of have to see what happens as we move on.
Well, lights are off on the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car. You got Fuller, Coleman, your front row, Hackney, Eitz in your second row, Dalton and O'Rourke your third row. If you thought it was crazy off the restart or off the start of the race, just wait, because now that they know what their car can do, oh boy, we're gonna have some fun
see
here.
a pretty aggressive restart here. Everybody's. It's not going to be necessarily what you see late in the race, but definitely going to be a lot more action. I would expect a lot more 3 wide here. People being a little more aggressive.
And green flag back in the air, and Fuller with a heck of a push from Eitzen on that outside. Eitzen might have even cleared. No,
not quite. Looked like he might have even got a little bit loose there from the 41.
Well, we know O'Rourke's a really good pusher. Saw that very much so at Daytona and also at Auto Club last week.
Yeah, look at that run that 7 truck rather is about to get here. Not going to be able to get up to the leader, but definitely could take some of that momentum and maybe make a move here at the exit of 2, depending on where he goes. 3 wide toward the back here, mid-pack.
There it is.
We see these guys get a little more and more aggressive. Still pretty much single file to 2 wide pretty much throughout this pack, but still very, very early on in this thing.
Yeah, it's early, but while everybody's on fresher tires, they're all trying to get as many positions as possible, and that can really hurt you later on in the run. So, honestly, instead of the drivers going forward, I'm looking at the drivers that are falling back a little bit, because they're going to be the ones to watch out for later on in the run.
Yeah, and that halfway lap is 57 here, so if you save your tire, obviously, like you were mentioning, it's gonna help you later on. Halfway through this race, approaching that here in the next 18, 17 laps here, so.
Yeah, as we're still looking up front, Mike Kelly making a show for that top 5. He's put to the outside. There's a really big train to that inside, being led currently by O'Rourke. Well, now Eitzen.
Yeah, and Kelly having a nice, quiet day in the top 10, moved his way up through this field, almost 3 wide there for a moment. Yeah, he's really been working and grinding from that 14th spot up to 6. Looked like he also gained some positions on pit road as well. And Mike, you know this, and AJ, you too. Best place to make up some positions sometimes is on pit road.
It is, yes, because it can really change your race depending on track position. And you can even lose spots on pit road too. I've done that before myself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, overshooting your pit stall, you know.
I think I've lost more on pit road than I've gained, but Gary, you are 100% correct.
I mean, you know, sometimes when you're learning how to drive still, I mean, hell, I slide through pit road sometimes. It's pretty easy to do, but as long as you don't do it all the time, you do it less times than you're supposed to, then you're usually in pretty good shape.
And we got a huge battle for the lead coming up right now. Hackney, who was doing really good early on, faded just a little bit right to the lead, battling at Fuller.
Yeah, battling Fuller there, 1/1000th of a second at the line that last time by. These guys are side by side and going really, really hard here for the lead. Oh, there's contact between the 9 and the 51.
Oh, man.
Big contact there between the 9 and the 51 there. It looked like the 9 truck just got tight and was trying to go back up, but Fuller was like, not today. We're going to see that here on this replay. Coming out of turn number 4 between the 9 and the 51. Yeah, you see that already, that contact right there.
How that did not cause a wreck and collect more trucks that's crazy right there. Good
Definitely
save.
caused a chain reaction for sure, and it's going to ruin probably both their races. They're going to be losing a lot of their track position right here. I mean, it's already sent the 51 back to 17th position, outside of the top 10, even outside of the top 15. So he's going to have to gather himself back up here. He's going to get back down to the low lane here and get himself settled back in. You know how that goes, Mike. Sometimes you get a little bit fired up.
Exactly. You have a contact like that, especially how good of a race you were having at the time. Oh yeah, you're going to get fired up because you feel like, okay, this guy just like ruined my race. All right. I got to get up on the wheel and really
he's going down pit road. Coming down pit road here to repair that damage, not taking any chances with it.
Well, maybe he wanted to get out of the Hornet's nest because what I've seen a lot tonight from anywhere from like 12th on back, it's been a complete Hornet's nest.
Yeah, it's been an absolute crazy race back here. Donnie Leah up to 13th from 19th position. I mean, like you were saying, outside of that top 10, top 15, it gets pretty wild back here and just becomes harder and harder to pass people.
A lot of it probably has to do, like we've talked about already, is the dirty air and getting aero tight.
Yeah, a lot of that dirty air, and honestly, you're just kind of running the same speed in the same line, so unless somebody goes with you, even if you do have a run, it's kind of hard to complete that pass. So we see the 6 here drifting up a little bit, clip the white line, almost the apron in turns 1 and 2 with the 16. Pretty much everything's calmed down up front, though, for the most part. Trey Heitz in there, your leader. Pretty much the top 6 are single file, top 7. Keith Hackney got away with one there, falling back to 7th, and just hanging on to the back end of this lead pack.
Yeah, he really didn't get the big end of the deal there. Justin Fuller's the one that had to come down pit road. He just got sent back about 6 positions, so...
Yeah, Fuller not going to be too happy about that. He is already 1 lap down. Probably going to lose a 2nd lap here as the leaders are coming. Going to be interesting to see what happens that next time that 51's around that 9 truck here as they get closer.
Well, we're about to find out here pretty shortly.
We'll see how long it takes, because pretty much everybody's single filed out now, and pretty much the only time we see them differentiate lanes a little bit is in the corners.
It looks like the first side-by-side battle we have is basically like where we were talking about earlier, anywhere from 15th on back, because it seems like the top 14 are just decided to just take it easy and do single file right now.
Yeah, Brian Shelley battling there. I believe it's it's the 22 and the 02. Nelson Rivera and Shannon Wood there. Side-by-side coming off of turn number 2, rounding that top 15 area.
Both of them have been having a very good race so far tonight.
Yeah, slow and steady working their way up through the field. Even Brian Daly, 27th up to 14th. Nelson, 29th to 15th so far. So Shannon kind of struggling a little bit. You know, started 10th, running in 16th. So I'm sure he was hoping to have a little bit of a better run here as we move forward.
I mean, it's all fun and great to run well, but it's all about where you finish, and we've seen a lot of drivers, and I'm going to throw Tyler Dalton out there, Wesley Donaldson out there. You know, they might not be fully top 5, top 10 dominating all race, but it's where they finish, because there's no stages. You can take all 114 laps and make your race that way instead of worrying about stage points, and then finish.
Yeah, but with here, I don't think they have those stage points, but I mean, that is a very good point in that stage racing. I mean, that is a very good point. You know, you kind of, especially at certain tracks, you kind of go for one stage and bomb the other and then try to go for the win later. So
I think that's what helps the drivers here, at least. They don't have to worry about the stage breaks or any of that stuff. They can just worry about the full race picture and then working your way through the traffic and up front.
Exactly, and you're not going to pass, 3 or 4 cars at once. I mean, you might do that on a restart, but you're not going to do it, especially this long into a run. We went back to green around lap 37, 38-ish, so, you're not going to see a whole lot of, I'm going to pass 5 cars right here. It's definitely one at a time, and Mike, with how low the horsepower is on these trucks, sometimes it takes you 3 to 5 laps. You set up the pass, and then it takes you another couple laps to even make the pass. So sometimes it's a 5 or 6 lap process with these trucks.
It is. It's just all because of the horsepower and having less horsepower. It's frustrating too because sometimes you build up that momentum to get that pass, and you want somebody to help you go with you, and then they won't go with you, and then you're stuck maybe side by side for a few laps, and it's just killing your tires too, Gary.
Yeah, killing those tires is not a fun thing to partake in, because if you kill your tires, that's a long race.
It's gonna be a long race, and it's gonna really make your time in the car or truck very much more stressful, because now you're worried about you're either tight or loose, and right now we're seeing a lot of drivers really loose out of turn 4, and I gotta attest that too, these tires getting worn.
Yeah, and also we might even see some guys get a little bit tight, especially if you're on the bottom battling side by side, because you get that aero tightness as we see the 30 and 91 battling here for 8th position here. 99 of Tommy Ryan just sticking here, playing a little peekaboo, seeing what he could do around this 30 and this 91 here for 8th place. Pretty much a 3-truck battle at this point.
big gap building between the 6 of Mike Montesi and the 16 of Steve Ritter.
Yeah, this is kind of the front pack, so to speak. This top 11 trucks here, all within a second and 3/4 of each other. Then we're going to see about a second here between the 6 and the 16. So it's starting to get a little bit spread out again. It usually takes about 20 laps or so because, like we were mentioning, those tires start to fall off a little bit, and you're just trying to make your way.
And you'll start seeing the gap too as well, because you'll start seeing the front trucks or front start handling more and more better as the run goes on, because they've been taking care of their tires. And then you start seeing people behind that brake where it's like, okay, their trucks are not handling as good, they're probably pedaling with a throttle, and that's why you're seeing that gap.
Well, I mean, talk about that, Mike. I mean, it's a lot easier to save your tires running, you know, 3rd or 4th than it is, you know, when you're running 15th or 16th. I mean, because you're also, you want to save your stuff, but at the same time, you don't want to get run over by somebody that's, you know, not willing to do that, and they just want to go, go, go.
Yeah, it's a hard decision to make and how you want to do it, because if you try taking care of your tires early on, you're going to be in the middle of a hornet's nest, and then you're like, okay, what's going to happen? I got 2 and 3 wide behind me, in front of me, like, okay, I need to get out of here. So you're going to probably push the issue a little bit more than you want to, and that's going to, you know, cause an issue with your tires later in the run.
Absolutely. Update here on that 51. Got a little bit loose out of the exit. Turn number 4. Leaders are now there, and they are going around this 51 truck. So 51 there of Justin Fuller, not having the night he's wanting. Down 2 laps now.
I will
Joey
say
Katina
that
down
right
a
side,
lap in 37th.
that right side doesn't look as bad as I was expecting.
And plus, with this new damage model, you can get that damage repaired and still have a pretty clean truck for the most part. Still might handle a little bit evil, but at least it's better than having a parachute.
Nobody likes a parachute. That's the worst feeling in racing.
Nobody likes it. Exactly.
I mean, if you're jumping out of a plane, I'm pretty sure you would like that parachute.
Oh, absolutely. Or
Not
if you're in
like-
drag racing, you definitely want that parachute.
Yes, that too.
Boy.
The stuff we come up with in the broadcast booth for analogies for all our wonderful viewers watching at home.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're seeing everybody pretty much get around this 51 truck now. Still continuing to fall back, and the next truck that's got to get around him is the 9. What I've been waiting for the last like 15 laps. It's finally here. I don't think we'll see any dumb retaliation, because I don't think anybody wants to get suspended or, you know, have any penalties or anything like that, or any playoff implications. So I think everybody's going to pretty much keep it as clean as they can here.
Well, you might do the Ryan Newman effect. Just be like super hard to pass, you know?
Elbows out.
Chase Elliott effect?
No.
No. Bristol, 2021. That Chase
Also,
Elliott effect.
that wasn't
Not
the
right
All-Stars.
rearing somebody at 180 at Charlotte. Not that one.
Now you got to specify.
Right. 91 had a little bit of a run on that 9, but couldn't quite make that pass, and that just opened the door for the 30s we're seeing right here. This battle for 7th through 9th pretty much ongoing. Really 10th as well, because you got Tommy Ryan right there in 10th.
He's
and the
falling
60s
back.
kind of reeled himself back into this one, Mike Montesi.
And Tommy Ryan has fallen back from where he was early on in the race, too, and he's back there in 10th now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he had like a bad pit stop during that first yellow and brought himself back to where he is right now, but like you mentioned, definitely falling back from where he was earlier.
Great job, everybody on that racetrack, keeping it really clean out there, and still watching this.
Fuller blocked the 9 truck. And the 9's hold on to it.
Up on the racetrack. That might bring out a
hard hit right there. There it is. That's caution.
That was.
Well, he threw the block.
Oh, another hard hit for the 9.
He made it tough on him and threw the block going into 1.
He sure did, and he paid the price. That is for sure. I started young.
We gonna count that as payback, boys?
I don't know if it was a block. I have to see. I didn't really get a good look at
I'm
it.
gonna
so
take a look at it right
We'll take a
here.
good look at it right here. Oh, I don't know if... Did he get loose? It looked like he kind of got loose because he had the 91 on his right rear quarter panel. So I don't know if maybe there was contact there. And just kind of sent him around a little bit.
Looked like he did get loose there.
He looked like maybe the transition
Oh,
between...
and the 52 just slams right into him.
Well, the 10 first.
Yeah, and then he had a couple hard hits there after the fact.
Maybe the transition between behind the 51 and then having the 91 on the corner panel, that could have got you arrow loose too.
Yeah, big arrow loose there. 9 started he started really good, started second. Now he's
What car
now he's
number
on
is
pit
that?
road.
It's the 27, okay. Let's jump on with the 27 and take a look at all this. Because he came in well after the fact.
Well, he kind of maybe thought he saw the smoke up high, so trying to go low, and I don't know if maybe the 9 obviously locked up his brakes to stop, so maybe he thought the 9 was going to go to the apron, and that just didn't happen.
Maybe gonna roll or something.
Yeah, exactly. Roll a little bit, because that's naturally going to happen even with your brakes locked up. Sometimes you still catch yourself rolling a little bit. Race off of pit road here. Going to be won easily by that 7 of Trey Eitz, and then it's going to be the 41 and the 38 of Chad Coleman and the 2 of Mike Kelly. And the 19 of Tyler Dalton. Pretty interesting implications here. Brian Wertman staying out once again.
The 58 of Pedro Mojica, 14th, started 36th. And then you got to go back to Jimmy Coleman, started 37th and now 21st. So places can be made up, but like I think what you said, Gary or Mike, you can make them up on pit road. And I think Coleman right now just grabbed about 4 or 5 spots.
Yeah, you'll make up a few spots on pit road, and then also, even through the wrecks, you can gain some spots, and just a battle of attrition here a little bit. That also helps.
Should be getting the 2 to go right now, I would assume.
Yeah, it looks like it here. Looks like the 51 and the 01 will be taking their wave buys here once the lights go out on that pace car.
Oh, we're really going to see the intensity on this restart pickup here, boys.
Yeah, I would assume so. We're past halfway, so we're starting to get to that money line that everybody wants to hit. The pay window is starting to open.
Yeah, we are halfway was lap 57. We're coming to lap 69 now. It'll be that 1 to green, so we'll be going green about lap 70 here.
Well, seeing everything that's still going on, Joey Gattina still on pit road. Randall Watkins, after that hit from the 9, I think he might be on pit road for quite a while. Keith Hackney,
he's going to be on pit road for a while.
I don't think Keith Hackney's actually in the session anymore. Oh, no, he is.
I think Joey was repairing some damage. He got his lucky dog, so came down pit road to repair and do normal pit stop things. And his truck looks pretty good now, so as long as he doesn't have too much engine damage, he should be all right. He's going to be back here amongst tailing the longest line behind these wave around trucks that have just gone by. With the 51 and the 01, I believe it was.
It looks like Keith Hackley just disconnected from the session, too.
Ouch.
Yep. Keith Hackney is gone. He said, see you later. Don't want to wait. Understandable. Been there.
I was almost there last night.
Well, hey, you got it out for a finish at least. That's always good.
I did. I was one of the cars that made it to the finish. Not on the lead lap, but made it to the finish.
Hey,
Not a lot of us finished on the lead lap last night.
Yeah,
there
we
was only
got
about
we got
6
waxed.
cars.
We got mollywopped.
Oh, for sure. Well,
Well,
lights are off on the pace car here, AJ.
Eitzen O'Rourke on your front row. You have Chad Coleman and Tyler Dalton in that second row, getting ready for that green flag. The iRacing Ford Mustang pace car down pit road for cover, and here we go.
Green flag back in the air. We're underway. And that 7 truck on the loud pedal gets to the start-finish line. Going to hug that bottom. 38 getting a good run here. It looks like the bottom lane there, Mike, on this restart had a pretty good advantage.
Yeah, it did. It looked like a lot of those guys on the inside line were more connected, pushing when they took the green flag than the outside. Oh, we got trouble. Turn 2. A truck around and toward
And
the
the yellow
back.
flag is out.
We got a car number.
Lane Phillips.
Lane Phillips, yep.
Lane Phillips. Good old 28. Let's see what happened here, AJ, on the replay. Oh.
Oh.
Did he get the boot scooting boogie?
I think he blinked out and the car misjudged where he was when he returned.
Yeah, he was kind of blinking on my end too, so yeah.
Well, there's the blink out. And I
And
don't
he's back, kind of. And yeah, they just don't know where he is.
don't know if Jeff Ryan knew where he was and just spun him. Like, no fault to anybody.
Yeah.
Well, while we're under this caution, we're going to take a quick commercial break and say hi to the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast and the TranService Logistics.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service. We cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Bring us back.
All right, and we are back, race fans. Thanks to TranService Logistics for sponsoring the Sim500 Truck Series here. We're back at Las Vegas, still under caution here. Lights are still on that beautiful pace car. Probably about 2 to green now, I would assume. Just want to give a shout out to all of our channel sponsors. The links are in the description below for everybody. The Drinkin Bros Auto Racing Facebook page, the Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Wrestling Over Everything Facebook page. Also, Falcon Grafix. Save $5 on your iRacing vehicle wrap when you mention All-Star 15 TV on the Falcon Grafix Facebook page. I would assume that's all for your first order.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. And we're back here, guys. So we are getting ready to go green. Everybody already kind of double file here, at least for the first 8 to 10 spots. Everybody anxious to go back racing here. Lap 73 out of 114. We'll see if Mike is back. I'm going to throw it directly to him. Mike, we're going to have a crazy restart here. What are you expecting?
Oh, they waved it off, Gary.
Oh, they waved it off?
Yes, they have. Looks like there's some confusion toward the back of the pack because there are a lot of guys that were like trying to figure out what lane they should have been in.
All right. Well, we'll extend this another lap. Well, the lights are off. I guess.
Yeah, they just went off this time when they crossed the line again.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, looks like we're good. I don't have the chat on for obvious reasons. Too many voices in my head. I already got you two. I can't have it. I wouldn't imagine having, 40.
Just us two?
Just us two?
Yeah, for the moment.
Wow, Mike, that was pretty good. I don't think we can do
was
that.
pretty good.
I was going to throw in
I'm crazy, but not about that. Anyways.
I was going to throw in a Randy Orton reference, but, that's a different topic for a different day.
That's a good pull. Not going to lie. That's a really good pull. Just want to hope everybody's doing okay with everything going on in Canada and in the Northeast, including like Pennsylvania, Minnesota, Detroit, all that other stuff. Hopefully everybody's doing okay and staying safe with those wildfires, and also that really harmful smoke outside. It literally smells like a campfire, and for a lot of people it is very tough to breathe in. So please, everybody, stay safe. And hey, glad you're watching All-Star 15 TV. As Gary, take us to the restart.
All right, pace car is in. Yeah, not a whole lot of good stuff there with those fires and stuff. Green flag back in the air. Trey gets a really good restart here over that 38 and the 41. Diving down here into turn number 1. Looks like the 38's going to clear himself over the 19. Going to be able to barely do it. Tight racing here amongst our top 5, all single file. Here's the exit turn 2. Now they're going to fan out 2 wide, 3 wide toward the back of the field.
O'Rourke is looking for that lead spot, but he's going to back it up.
Yeah, I'm going to back it up here, try to see if he can get a run with some of these other trucks behind him. Still tight side-by-side racing here, back into the top 5, into the top 10.
Yeah,
Everybody
Brian
trying to
Daly.
get it sorted out, but really aggressive moves here, Mike.
Yes, especially Brian Daly. He was running 3 wide that first lap after the restart, so they're getting really aggressive from about 12 points on back here.
Yeah, everybody at this point trying to get all the positions that you can get moving forward.
Well,
Oh, the 29 at Donnie Lee. Looks like he got loose or something there at the exit of turn 4. Got all the way up to the outside. I think he stayed off that wall there. Got lucky
Looks like
there.
the 91 truck area is blinking in and out.
that's Wesley Donaldson.
Oh,
Hopefully he can get that
beautiful.
figured out. But
Yeah, sometimes with the Wi-Fi likes to bind itself together. What do you think, boys? 77 laps in. We haven't done one all season. What do you say we crank it up?
let's do it.
might crank it down because we're talking again. How about that crank it up for all these NAS truckers here in the Sim500 TranService Logistics Series. Everybody's still battling out here, especially back here in the top 12. It's kind of watching it during our crank it up session. Everybody still battling for positions.
Yeah, our whole top 12 is actually, for the most part, single file, unless
you go back to like 15th.
Unless you're the Jim Beam car of Chet Coleman or Tyler Dalton. They're the ones messing the single file up. But yeah, let's drop back to that 15th position on my pick. Nelson Rivera. You know, he's up 14 positions, started 29th. Happy I picked him.
Position you wanted.
Still happy I picked him because he is still moving forward. I think he burdens those Goodyear Eagles on that truck up earlier in the run and slowly starts to fade. So if we get a short run, look for that 22 to be really fast.
Yeah, he's going to be looking to be really fast. Look at this battle behind these guys. You got Shannon Wood at the 02. You got the 54 here. The 1 of Kyle Merkel. The 71 of Casey Duncan. All these guys under a blanket. They've been fighting like dogs here these last few laps. During our crank it up, I was wondering if these guys were going to make a mistake or cause an incident. Nothing happened, though. So these guys are keeping it pretty clean.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for letting us have that crank it up.
We don't get to do that very often, but when we do, it's nice.
Oh, up front, Tyler Dalton now battling with the 99 of Tommy Ryan. Is the 99 is... Oh, I thought he was going to wash up just a little bit.
Yeah, he was able to keep it down to the bottom that time. 19 and 99, the 2 right here, the 30 here. Look at Donnie Leah. He's now in the top 10. Look at that. Solid, steady move up through the field all night long. He's probably a run or two away. Maybe if we get a late caution. I don't know how many tires people have left. You should at least have one set. If everybody does have one set left, could be seeing a late race pit stop here, maybe.
Well, I know on Monday nights, my broadcasting friend TJ Barnier is all about the chaos, and I think that's what we would get if we get a caution pretty much with 5 or even 10 laps to go.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we're coming here on lap 90, so we'll have about 25, 24-ish laps to go right in that window there. So anything could happen. We've seen a lot here tonight. We've seen a lot of battles. We have seen our fair share of cautions here. Still par for the course. Nothing really too crazy. Las Vegas still has those moments where you have a lapse in judgment or something like that, or a lot of netcode, and things happen.
Which we've seen quite a bit of netcode. And Gary mentioned it, in just about 25 laps will be the end of the race, and then we're going to talk to our podium finishers. Stay tuned to listen to those interviews, because sometimes they get spicy.
They do, depending on who we talk to.
Exactly.
They really show their colors, definitely.
I love personalities.
Well, if we didn't have personalities, everything would be boring.
This is also very true. Give a huge shout out to everybody in the YouTube or Facebook land for hitting that share button. We're up to 18 shares. That's a lot. That's going to add a lot to the view count, which I appreciate to everybody out there. Also, hit that like button, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook. This is becoming like our Wednesday night thing. Like Sim500, get home from work and just watch a show. Because these guys are putting on a show for the 3rd week in a row. I think next week we have an off week, but then we go to the Nashville Super Speedway, and that's going to be chaotic.
Yeah, Nashville, you know, it's a mile and a third. It's concrete, and it's kind of a hybrid. I mean, the way the line is, it's kind of a short track, you know, and especially with the way the braking is, you definitely have short track braking points, but it also has the speed of almost a mile and a half, really. I mean, especially going down to turn 1. We'll see these guys next week get about as fast as they are now.
Gary, I
125,
misspoke. We
180.
go to Gateway June 21st.
Oh, well, that's Darlington, New Hampshire love child.
I throw Phoenix in there.
Well, I mean, Phoenix is definitely a unique track of its own for sure.
Nelson Rivera trying to make a pass on the 54 of Jimmy Coleman. And that's not going to happen, but Shannon Wood to the outside. Great run out of 4 for Shannon.
Yeah, got to make it stick right there. Kind of been trapped in that top 15 all night long, top 16. Fell back from 10th spot and just kind of really stayed there all night long.
Mike, what do you see?
I was just going to say Nelson Rivera right now has no help behind him on that bottom, down that back straightaway.
Yeah, he's kind of been running by himself here these last couple laps, been able to, make some hay a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see. I think Casey's just kind of just chilling here, riding around a little bit. He knows there's still a little bit of time left, but he also knows it's really hard to pass, too. So if he can get his momentum on the high side, I think he's just going to take it.
I think Nelson needs to get to that high side or middle groove. He is hurting on that inside.
We're starting to see a little bit of scrambling of the Jets here with our front pack. No real battle for positions here, but Mike, if you're that 41 or that 38 late in this race, do you try and work together and try to get that last couple lap pass on Trey, or do you just kind of ride here? What's your and try to go for it yourself? What's your mindset here as we get late in this thing?
I think part of me would want some help to make a pass, because it seemed like tonight, if you don't have a strong enough truck, you're going to need a little bit of help to get around somebody. But also at the end of the race, it's going to be every man for himself. So even if you're going to want the help, you may not necessarily get the help.
Or you get the help. Say the 41 swings it down low to the inside of the 7. 38's behind the 41. He might even try to make it a 3-wide situation going into one of these corners here and cause some chaos that way as well. And we have seen last lap passes at Las Vegas before in the trucks and pretty much here in NASCAR history as well. I mean, we've seen it with Jimmy Johnson here. We've seen it with Jeff Burton here when he won in the Busch Series back in the day. Truck Series has had many interesting finishes here, to say the least. Definitely possible.
To me, it looks like EJ O'Rourke in 1 and 2 is starting to go higher and higher, and he gets to the right rear corner panel of Trey Eitzen, but can't get alongside him. But I've seen him more and more here try to get to the outside of him in 1 and 2.
And Trey is doing a little bit of mirror driving, which you will do here, especially as you're close together like this. Trey's kind of mirroring where EJ is going to go. Trey's going to the bottom when he thinks EJ might go to the bottom, and he kind of goes to the middle or top when EJ's trying to go to the top. Sometimes they match in their lanes, sometimes they don't. Really just kind of depends on what Trey is feeling for that corner. And, when you kind of take that line from them, it does dump all that dirty air on their nose, and it does make them insanely aerotight, as we've talked about.
It does, and I think the wild card factor with all this is going to be the guys third on back at the end of this race and what they're going to do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if I'm the 38 of Chad Coleman or I'm the 19 of Tyler Dalton, I feel like I am in a great spot if I can get a really good run to try and make something happen here at the end. If you're the 7 of Trey, you're kind of just a sit and duck. And even the 41 to an extent, because if that 41 tries to take a run, the 38's either going to try to fill that gap or he's going to try to make it 3 wide.
Yes.
Because of the big hole in the air that these trucks just naturally make.
And then they all might wreck.
That too.
Oh,
nice
Tommy
passing
Ryan
wall.
got really close to the
Speaking
outside
of a
wall.
wreck,
Yeah, Tommy Ryan really got close to the outside wall.
I thought he hit it.
If he didn't hit it, he scrubbed it.
yeah, that's for sure. That's going to cost him a little bit of track position. Donnie Leah now trying to get to his inside. Donnie Leah doesn't have a whole lot of help, but Tommy does right there with the 18. Donnie being able to make his way up there and Makes something out of nothing here tonight, pretty much. I mean, he's been methodical with his approach and working his way up through this pack here tonight. Going to be probably bringing that truck home to a top 10 if his cards play out right.
Yeah, I think Donnie Leo right now is having the same problem Nelson Rivera had about 10 laps ago, being stuck on that inside. But at least he's got help with Bentley Glazer.
Yeah, and they definitely have a train there on the outside. If you look at Pedro Mojica there too, in that 58, he's riding up there with Tommy Ryan. So, and everybody else in front of him is kind of running that middle lane a little bit as well. So, Tommy all the way up to that third lane trying to make something happen. I don't know if he's going to get it done. Gonna lose a little bit of momentum there. And if you're not careful there too, Mike, I mean, in that third lane, if not a whole lot of people have been up there all night, there are some little rubber marbles, as we call it here in NASCAR. Gets up on your hot, sticky tires and makes that car drive like you're on ice for a lap or two.
Oh yeah, it does, and you're gonna feel like you're turning the wheel, and you're sitting there turning it, and this thing's not turning. You're like, hang on, boys, like I don't want to hit the wall, you know?
Exactly. Now look at the 29, getting to the quarter panel there of that 30 truck. Gonna try and make another pass at it here. He's gonna try to take that 6th position away. And he's got Pedro there with him. Pedro's pretty quick around this place. Hasn't had the night I don't think he's hoped for, but nonetheless in the top 10 after starting 36th.
I mean, I would call that a win.
Oh, for sure. Up almost 30 spots here. Probably made past more trucks than anybody here tonight. Look at Donnie able to just send it right there through 3 and 4 and take that spot away. A little bit of blocking there. 30 might give him a little bit of a shove here past the start-finish line.
I mean, you're just about 10 to go, so I would assume if you're going to block, now's the time to do it. But just remember, you might get a little bump next time.
I think you got a little bit of a bump there going into turn 1, letting him know, hey, bud, I'm here. If you do that again, I might not be so nice.
There's another one? Oh, no.
Ooh.
Thought we were going to see another one.
But you could definitely see the arrow loose kind of happen there with Donnie's truck. Just a smidge.
This is one of the closest battles we got on the racetrack, because as now Donnie Leah is catching Mike Kelly.
Yeah, and he's going to try and break into the top 5 here. If he can make it happen to go from 19th to 1st here tonight, just in this race in general, but definitely from the top, like 12th here, when the last 3 started to win, more power to him. That's going to be very impressive, as he's got in the draft of Tyler Dalton here, going to be side-by-side real tight with Mike Kelly coming off of 4. If he could just get to his quarter panel by turn 1, I think he's got a shot at this Campigio to make this pass.
I think he does, and it seems like Donnie has been really strong this last run, like we've talked about, and him making passes up from the back, so I really anticipate him making...
Oh, here comes the 58. He's got help.
I was going to say, yeah, he's going to get all the help because everybody's going to see him making moves, and it's like, if that's the guy that's making moves, I got to go with him too.
Absolutely. And you see the 58 was able to take that momentum. He's going to get to the inside of that 2 truck now. That's going to put Donnie Leah in 5th. Pedro in 7th, but he's side-by-side for 6th. Mike Kelly here. Oh, that was a little close there.
That was really close there.
That was, got me excited.
Looks like
call a wreck right there.
I was going to say real quick, looks like Chad Coleman has lost contact with the top 2 here, so we have a little bit of gap from the leaders back to 3rd.
Yeah, so it's going to be mono here these last couple laps. Donnie been working his way up here. He's up to 5th position now. He's knocking on the door of our pole sitter, Tyler Dalton, for 4th. We might be talking to him by the end of this race. Who knows? Oh, manipulating the air a little bit to shove the 19 up the racetrack, it looks like there. The 1.
All fair in love and air.
Yeah, and you see Pedro, he's been kind of going with him for every pass that he's made here so far. Now he's going to be knocking on the door for 3rd place with Chad Coleman. Going to try and do the same method that he's been doing all night long, see what he can do with his momentum. And he's going to just cut it, keep it low there going into 1. And just going to take that bottom lane. And Pedro's going to go with him. We've seen this before. Same book, different chapter.
Hey, here comes Pedro right to the back bumper. Oh, Pedro's
Pedro
gonna
right
go
to the
by.
back bumper. He's kind of in between.
It's like, I think Pedro wants to get towards the front, but I don't think he wants to just show full helping.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you kind of can't help yourself, but I mean, you are helping because it's also benefiting you, but you're not getting the highest position out of it. I mean, look at the. This is gonna be close, guys. We're coming within 5 to go. Donnie's got a little bit of clean track here as well as Pedro, so they might be able to run him down here. We'll just have to see. It also looks like the leaders might be impeding on a slower truck here on the same straightaway as him. Gonna be an interesting battle to the checkers here. So we've got 5 to go now.
You know what they say, Gary? Is going to be catching them as one thing, passing them as another.
Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting. 74 there, Brian Wortman going to stay to the bottom, let these guys go. He knows it's 5 to go. And just letting them go down, he's going to get completely out of the way and onto the apron.
Great job,
Classy
Brian.
move there by Brian.
Great job, Brian.
Letting these guys try to battle it out. He knows that Donnie's been catching these guys, I bet.
Donnie is under a second, but he is kind of leveled off at that under a second.
Yeah, he's also had to use his tires up quite a bit too, making those passes that he's had to make. It's going to be interesting to see if I keep calling him OJ. I don't know why. Maybe it's because his last name starts with an O. Anyways, EJ's kind of stuck here in no man's land. If he can even get a hint of a little bit of a tail draft from this 29 and 58, he might have something for him. But I know he's definitely trying everything he can in the book to back up his
Leah
corners
in the
a little
wall
bit
out
or
of
something.
4. Mojica shoving the 29 down the front stretch.
Yeah, big push here like it's Talladega.
I think Mojica's just trying to get Donnie up to the front too. That's all he's trying to do right now.
Yeah, if you can get him up to the front too and see what happens.
Take me to the promised
You know
land.
what Trey doesn't want to see right now?
Probably a yellow flag. Which,
Yeah, he doesn't want to see that yellow flag right now. He wants that starter to put that flag away. 2 to go this time.
dual popsicle sticks up in the air for the field here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
2 laps to go here. OJ's just OJ. I'm just going to keep calling him OJ. Screw it. EJ's right there trying to make something happen. I just don't think he's got enough.
Now Donnie, them are
Been
catching.
staying at about 2/10, and they're catching. The 58 and the 29 are catching, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Well, here we go out of turn 4. We are hitting the wrestling over everything white flag.
White flag in the air this time. You either bring back the steering wheel or the trophy at this point. Looks like Mojica is trying to do everything he can do now to just get past Donnie. It's the last lap. I think they're going to get there, guys, but they're going to run out of time.
Need a couple more laps.
I'm curious to see what Pedro's going to do, as he's going to send it into 3. And I think that's
Donnie's
as close as he's going to get.
move, but coming off of turn number 4, Trey Eidson is going to win here at Las Vegas in the TranService Logistics Truck Series. He's going to take the win. OJ O'Rourke in second. Donnie Leah runs out of time, comes home in third. Pedro Mojica in fourth, and rounding out your top 5 is going to be Chad Coleman.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick commercial break once again, and when we return, we're going to talk to our podium finishers.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Alrighty, everybody, we are back for the post-race show. We've got our top 3 here waiting for these interviews. Trey, of course, burning it down, John Force style, down the front straightaway grass or apron here. EJ celebrating his second place finish, but let's go ahead and pull in Donnie Leah, and I believe Mike Campigio is caught up with Donnie Leah.
Donnie Leah, it's Mike, Gary, and AJ in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man. Congratulations on your third place finish tonight. Talk about your race to us tonight. It seemed like you were making a lot of moves on that last restart up to third. Tell us how you did it.
Oh, tire conservation. We were trying to save tires in the back there. Me and a couple of my teammates there, Pedro and Byron, and we just kept save tires. And then when tires start to come into play, about 30 laps into a run, we get a yellow, so never could really show it. And then at that last run there, we were able to save tires and show it at the end and go forward towards the end there after everybody's kind of wore their stuff out. So it was a good run. I got to thank Pedro for being nice at the end because. I don't know. I got a little tight there at the end, and he was helping it out by not running me over, trying to push those up to the top two, try to fight for the win. But it was good fun run. We got to come from like 20th, which was fun. Yeah, I love these trucks. I haven't really ran any truck races lately, so it was nice to come here and run them.
Did you think you needed a couple more laps to get up to battle for the lead, or what did you think? Did you think you needed a little bit more?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I just ran out of time. But I don't know. It would have been tough either way. Them guys were good out front. The clean air is huge, so those guys did a good job. Congrats, Trey, on the win. Thanks to you guys for doing this coverage and Sim500 and all the admin, Joey and everybody for putting these races on. So thank you.
Now, Donnie, as we put Las Vegas in the rearview mirror as we look forward to next week at Gateway, what are your thoughts as we head to the St. Louis area?
It's not really one of my favorite tracks, but hopefully I can make the race. My thing is just getting home in time to make these races. So I was lucky tonight to get home and run this race. But yeah, hopefully I can make next week, and it should be good racing. I don't know. That's a pretty tough place, but these trucks are good. They just drive well, and they're good. They're good race cars. So it should be.
Well, Donnie, we'll get you out of there on that. Congratulations again on your third place finish tonight, and we will catch you next week in Gateway.
Thanks, and I finished third to my idol EJ. He told me to say that. That's it.
That's good.
All right, sounds good. Thanks
See
for
you
your
guys.
time, Donnie. We'll see you here in a couple weeks.
See you later.
All right, that is Donnie Leah. Now we are pulling up EJ. EJ, how do you say your last name, bro? Help me out.
Rourke. Oh, Rourke.
Have we been saying it right? Close enough?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
well, I mean, whatever. It's all you don't usually say my name much unless it's for the lucky dog.
Well, we were saying it quite a bit tonight for you finishing second. So talk about your race, man. You didn't have much further up to go. I mean, you started sixth within the top 10. So talk about your race here tonight at Vegas.
Yeah, that's personal comfort. 41 Chevy Silverado's fast tonight. But first and foremost, I just want to apologize to Kevin DeBrown and that the '93 Pride Silverado. So I feel bad. I mean, I hooked him going into turn one there. I was trying to get to the outside of Tommy, and my screen froze right as I was about to hit the wall. And when I yanked it off the wall, like I came back and I hooked him. I just looked back at his neck code a little bit, but still, it's a bad deal, and I feel bad.
Yeah, definitely a tough deal to see that early on in the race like that. But kudos to you for coming out here on the broadcast and apologizing for that. Did you have anything for Trey at the end? I think that's what we're all wanting to know now. Did you have anything for him, or were the tires just too worn out at the end of that last run there to even make a move for the lead?
Well, I told Trey and my teammates down there in the channel that if anyone else was in this 41 personal comfort Chevy, they'd probably win this race. I got the Trey a couple times, and I trying to work the dirty air and trying to peek my headlight out, and just trying to get a little bit of run in that clean air. And I took a shot at him a couple times. It's just the dirty air sucks, but Trey Fuller was probably the fastest one out there. That Bojangles Ford F-150, but a win to Trey or losing to Trey is an honor, and to beat my hero Donnie Leah behind me is pretty big. So P2 is a good day. Felt like we could have won Daytona leading on the coming of the white there, but we crashed. But hey, a 1-2 finish, I'll take it.
Absolutely. Well, we have the Darlington, New Hampshire Love Child here in a couple weeks when we go to Gateway. Donnie says that's not his favorite track. Not very good there. How are you here? I mean, at Gateway. Well, what do you think about that racetrack coming here in a week or two?
Gateway is a tough track, obviously. The NASCAR Crash and Truck Series just ran there a couple weeks or last weekend. So, and I saw them. It's a tough race. It's hard to hold down at the bottom there, shifting in 1 to 2. Running the bottom line right there in 3 and 4 is important. I think it's fun because the shifting adds an element. I feel like the shifting is where I kind of benefit over a few other people. I feel like I am a little bit better than a lot of people doing that kind of thing. So we'll see. I mean, maybe we'll get a win at Gateway.
Since you calling your shot there?
Well, I mean, you gotta talk yourself up some a little bit. I mean, Trey's really good there too, so we'll see.
Absolutely. Any sponsors, or obviously you've been shouting out your teammates here throughout this interview. Any sponsors or anybody that you want to shout out here tonight?
I just got to thank Scott Stencil here at Personal Comfort. Appreciate him and getting me here to the racetrack and affording the entire bill from Goodyear Racing Eagles. And it's expensive to come all the way out to Vegas from Charlotte, so it's important to have supporters like that. Personal Comfort, and I got to thank Trey for painting this beautiful paint scheme and Fuller's beautiful Bojangles F-150, Macklin's Navy Toyota. So it's a fun time to be in this league. Joey Katina, everyone here at Sim500 does a great job. I enjoy watching the broadcasts. You guys do a great job too. So it's fun to be in an interview. It's been a long time, and I won the goat race last night. Finished second tonight. I'm having a good week.
Well, that's good. Hopefully, comes out more good runs for you here, and hopefully we talk to you again real soon. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you here at Gateway.
Appreciate it, Gary. All you guys, thank you so much.
No problem. All right, and that was EJ. Now we're gonna pull up with Trey. Trey, Victory Lane. We got champagne everywhere, probably beer. I don't know. I don't know what your alcohol beverage type is, but Trey, talk about your race here tonight. Taking the win here.
Yeah, kind of a shocker because I don't really like Vegas, and usually we come here Fuller dominates, which was probably what would have happened had the 9 not slipped up under him. But you kind of put yourself in circumstances, put yourself in the right place, and things seem to sometimes fall your way. So um, thought we were going to be short on gas, and then I'm an idiot and decided when we took that last green flag, I didn't lift till like 30 laps into the damn thing. Um, but we were good on gas. Then I was like, well, I probably chewed my tires up thinking, I was like, I'm not really worried about it. They'll probably be 12 wide in the back. We'll get yellows. And then none of that really came to fruition. But I think the clean air kind of helped me take care of everything. And then EJ had spurts where he would be faster than me. And I mean, I didn't even really pull a block on him on the front stretch. I was going to give him the right rear when he got there. But I don't know if he kind of started to veer towards the wall, but he had to crack the throttle. And that was really his only shot because once he did that and I saw what he was doing down in 3 and 4, I just kind of started mirroring it. And that's when I was able to get myself back out to like a little bit of a gap and just kind of was praying for no yellows right there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Within those last 5 laps, that's the last thing you want to see. Were you nervous at all when you heard that Donnie and Pedro were coming up through there last couple laps?
If we had like 10 more laps, like yeah, probably, because those two are like Pedro's amazing at tire conservation. Donnie is too. EJ, like I didn't even know me and EJ were gone. So I was like, "What's behind you?" And he's like, "Nothing." So I thought Chad was like up his butt, and we were just like choo-choo training around the track. Um, but then he's like, "No, we're good." And then we look up, and I'm like, "Well, who's third?" And he's like, Donnie. And I'm like, "Well, where the hell did they come from?" And you start watching the F3, and they were, I mean, some laps would mirror, but those like last 2 or 3 laps, it felt like they were taking like chunks out of us. So. Um, I knew they weren't going to get there, but if we got a caution in like a restart or something, like I would have been worried because, yeah, Donnie's extremely talented. You've seen it in real life, and then Pedro's. I feel like he's won damn near everything he's entered this year.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Gateway is next week or week after. I don't know. Is there a bye week or something? I don't know, but I'm
I
not
don't
good with
either.
schedules. I just know when the next race. I just know where we're going next, and that's Gateway. So, how do you feel about Gateway whenever we go there? And is that one of your best tracks? Kind of meh or worse? Because you got to do a little bit of shifting next time we go there.
It's 2 weeks, so we get a break. I just looked, but it's probably one of my top 5 favorite tracks on iRacing. The last time we ran there, I dominated it, and then I made a bad pit call with like 5 to go and threw it all away. So, um, hoping I can repeat that performance, except have a better result. So yeah, looking forward to it. I always see like Milwaukee, Gateway. I kind of like the random tracks that we don't race a lot. So stuff like that. When we go there, I get excited. It's something different that we don't race it 12 times a season or anything. So get a little bit of an off week, and then we'll see what they bring us in Gateway.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, any thanks you want to give to anybody out there, any sponsors or anything for your W
Sure.
here tonight?
Yeah, always try to think. I haven't got a broadcast with you guys this year. At least got to talk. I've ran up front both races, but just didn't get it to the checkered. Just thanks to TranService and Personal Comfort. Who else we got? NC811. Just all the sponsors of the league. Thanks to Joey. Obviously run Sim500 on the side of the truck this year, so thanks to him, thanks to just there's a lot of admins that play a part in the league, and you guys take time out of your lives to broadcast us, so appreciate that. Um, all my teammates, so we work together pretty good on restarts and just kind of dirty air's a thing, so we try not to pack air on each other's front ends and protect each other. So it's nice to have a few of us out there that can work together, and I think that's it. I think I've thanked everyone in the world.
All right, sounds good. Well, good luck to you here at Gateway, and congratulations on your win tonight. And we'll hopefully
Yep.
talk to you soon.
Yes, appreciate it, guys.
All right, that is Trey there on the win again tonight. AJ, go ahead, take it away.
All right, guys. Well, tonight was a lot of fun. It was a super speedway on another mile and a half with these TranService Truck Series trucks. And I can't wait for Gateway in 2 weeks, just for the fact of, you guys heard it through the interviews, there's going to be some shifting. And I feel like when you throw more stuff at drivers, they either adapt or adapt chaos. So I can't wait for it. Tonight was awesome. I think we're 3 for 3 with amazing races. And I think with the wonderful people I have up in this broadcast booth, Gary Wells, Mike Campeggio, sometimes Michael Eckhart, Peyton Sweet, we want to thank you guys for tuning in to the show every single week. But enjoy the week off, stay safe, stay cool, and we'll see you on the next show. Bye, everybody.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Industries across the board utilize fleet trucks on a daily basis, from your local utility company to your grocery store, and many of these companies choose full-service fleet leasing. With a traditional lease, you're responsible for everything after you get the truck, but a full-service lease includes all the maintenance and other services at a set cost. Regardless of the scope or range of your fleet needs, TranService will engineer a fully customized, full-service fleet leasing solution optimized to your requirements. From asset acquisition requiring no capital investment, to the engineering, configuration, and selection of your fleet equipment, to the people, facilities, and equipment to keep your fleet maintained and repaired. TranService gives you everything you need, with advantageous fleet pricing based on our national account status, compliance expertise, Inspections, licensing, permitting, personal property taxes, nationwide roadside service, we cover it all for you. Contact us today to learn why leading companies rely on TranService for complete turnkey leasing solutions.